Good morning, everyone, and welcome to County Executive Pittman's virtual press conference. This morning, the County Executive will be joined by Jansen Evelyn, the first Executive Director of the County's Police Accountability Board. We'll take questions after the remarks. As a reminder, please put your name and media affiliation in the chat, and I'll call on folks for questions in that order. As well, please keep your microphone and camera off unless you're called on to ask a question. With that, Mr. County Executive.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I want to start out just by welcoming Dr. Bedell, our new school superintendent, who started Monday. And while he's not with us today, I will be with him tomorrow at a press conference announcing a new program of school bus cameras and have some meetings scheduled, letting him get his feet on the ground, connect with everybody. He's got a lot of work to do in the coming weeks to get ready for the start of the school year. But we have some plans to get together and talk about the status of the school system in the county on various issues, including budgets. So, and I also just want to note before we jump into the main thing on our menu, that tomorrow night is the fourth of our community summits that we're holding around the county. The 9 region planning areas are each holding a community summit talking about public safety, education, and environment and land use. And this one will be at Severna Park Middle School tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Region 4 includes Pasadena, Gibson Island, Severna Park, Arnold, Cape St. Clair, Broadneck, and Riviera Beach. So looking forward to that. These have been great, well-attended, and important meetings. The big announcement today is that Anne Arundel County, after a very thorough process, I believe we're the first county to actually hire an executive director of a police accountability board who is an attorney and is new to our county government. So we did internal interviews from my staff first to go through the applicants that we had for this position. The county council specifically said that it should be a practicing attorney, somebody with a license to practice law in Maryland, and that was our intent to begin with anyway. I put together for the final interview a group of residents, a cross-section of people who we wanted to make sure had buy-in and support for whoever we hired. That included both a Democrat and a Republican from our county council, Amanda Fiedler and Lisa Rodvian. And then we had a representative from the Fraternal Order of Police, from the police community relations councils that we have in each district, from NAACP, from the Caucus of African American Leaders, representative from our Immigrant Affairs Commission, our faith community, the city of Annapolis, and of course my chief of staff and chief administrative officer. So it was a clear choice. And I'm thrilled to announce that Jansen Evelyn has agreed to serve in this capacity for Anne Arundel County. He is with us, and he'll have a few words to say as well. But I just want to say that this is a very important position. The Police Accountability Board is state mandated, but it's something that I have great optimism will grow trust, will increase transparency, and will really make our communities safer, because the only way to do really good policing is community policing with the community engaged. And so Jansen has worked both in law and in government, and has a life history that also I think makes him ideal for this position. While he's been practicing law recently, he served under both Democratic and Republican administrations in Howard County as assistant chief administrative officer for the county. And in that capacity, he worked with law enforcement. He also worked as an assistant county solicitor, and before that, working with police, again, in personnel matters, collective bargaining, and administrative issues. And then before that, he was in the Prince George's County Office of Law, where he worked on similar issues, including trial boards, police trial boards. So we've got somebody who really understands government, really understands policing, really understands the law, and also is involved in the community, member at large, the Howard County branch of NAACP, and is actually the vice chair of the Maryland Commission on Civil Rights. So I'm thrilled with this decision. Jansen is starting right away, has a meeting to prepare for of the Police Accountability Board. And I believe that our county really is going to show the state that this new system that has been created by the state can really work to bring everybody together and move us together in the same direction. So I'd like to introduce Jansen Evelyn.
Thank you, County Executive Pittman, and good morning, everyone. I just want to again thank County Executive Pittman for this opportunity. I want to express my gratitude to the entire interview panel, which, as the County Exec noted, included community stakeholders for their confidence in giving me this chance to level set and implement the Maryland Police Accountability Act of 2021 here in Anne Arundel County. As County Executive Pittman noted, I have worked in local government for approximately a decade, and I have extensive experience being the prosecuting attorney in public safety administrative hearing boards under the now repealed Law Enforcement Officers Bill of Rights, as well as working with public safety departmental leadership in other jurisdictions. However, I was drawn to this role because of the opportunity to institutionalize police reform, improve accountability, and to strengthen relationships between public safety and the communities they protect and serve. We cannot and we must not forget why we are here. The Maryland Police Accountability Act of 2021 came about as a response to months of protests in 2020 over the police-involved deaths of unarmed Black men and women. I look forward to working with and on behalf of the members of the Police Accountability Board and working with public safety agency leadership, governmental leadership, and community leaders to ensure open dialogue and transparency as we build this up. It is paramount that Anne Arundel's Police Accountability Board and the Administrative Charging Committee are in compliance with House Bill 670 to review and, when appropriate, adjudicate complaints of police misconduct that are submitted by members of the public. Excuse me. By law, the Police Accountability Board also provides policy advice through meetings with heads of public safety agencies and to improve matters of policing and police accountability in the county. And this is a critical first step. So that can only be done if the PAB is aligned with best practices for civil or civilian oversight. Some of these practices include sustained support, adequate funding, operational resources, clearly defined authority, and community involvement, along with continued outreach towards the community. The individuals that have stood up the PAB thus far have done just that, providing the resources, passing Council Bill 1622, and they've been very transparent in providing information to the public on the county's website. The Police Accountability Board, the Chair Ortiz, and I will continue that work. So again, thank you, County Executive Pittman, and I look forward to working with all involved. Thank you.
And if I could add one more thing before we open it up for questions, it has been a great honor to be in a position where I oversee the Anne Arundel County Police Department, having hired a chief Chief Amal Awad, who understands community policing, the importance of building trust in communities, and ultimately keeping our communities safe. And we have invested heavily, and we will continue to do that. We have now in our county nearly 100 more sworn officers than we did when I came in. We were way behind. Our county had grown, and we had failed to keep up with the growth in the county. We've also raised police officer pay so that we do not lose the best people to other jurisdictions. We've implemented body-worn cameras, and I'll tell you that just about every officer that I've talked to, is glad that they have them. They watch the videos, they learn from them, and they improve their work as a result of them. And we will continue to do that. I think that this extra layer of community engagement in policing is going to benefit both our officers, our department, and obviously the county as a whole and the community. So back to you, Jeff.
All right, with that, we'll open it up for questions. Again, put your name and media affiliation in the chat, and I'll call on folks in that order. Dana Monroe, the Capitol.
Hi, two quick questions. The first one, I know there was like an administrative assistant role for the executive director. Has that been selected?
No, no, we want the director to be able to choose his own, hire his own staff.
Got it. And did we specifically want to have someone in this role that wasn't in the county? Was that a deliberate choice or just sort of happened in the process of looking at people?
No, that was not, certainly not a criteria. We had applicants and we chose the one that had the most experience in the areas of the work, and just happened to be somebody who happened to be next door in Howard County.
Great. Sorry, one more question. Will this upcoming meeting be the first PAB meeting?
No, they have had one meeting so far.
Okay.
So this will be the second.
Thank you.
All right, one more time, name and media affiliation in the chat if you got a question. All right, seeing none, we will wrap there. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.